Nana, remember the first time we met? You know how I believe in things like fate? Well, I think that was fate. You can laugh if you want.
At its core, Nana is a story about love, friendship, and personal growth. These three themes are intertwined throughout the series, creating a complex narrative that's relatable and engaging. Love is a central theme, but it's not just about romantic love. It's about the love between friends, the love of music, and the love of oneself. Friendship is another key element, as we see the characters navigate their relationships with each other and deal with the challenges that come with them. Then there's personal growth. They learn to overcome their struggles and become the best versions of themselves. And for the sake of the video, Nana Osaki will be named Nana in this video, and Nana Komatsu will be called Hachi, as that's the name they call her in the show. As we delve deeper into the series, we see how these themes intersect and impact each other. Nana's relationships with her friends and bandmates are affected by her personal growth, and vice versa. Her love for music is influenced by her friendships, and her friendships are influenced by her love of music. It's beautiful, complex web of emotions and relationships that makes Nana such a compelling series. But what sets Nana apart is the ability to make you empathize with the characters on a deeper level. You start to see yourself in their struggles, their fears, and their desires. And that's what makes the series so relatable and so impactful. It's not a story about romance, it's a story about human connection and about finding your identity and about growing as a person. Ultimately, I think Nana's related obscurity is also due to the lack of visibility. It's not a show that gets talked a lot about in mainstream anime circles, and it's not often included in lists of must-watch anime. But I'm here to tell you that Nana is absolutely worthy of your attention, and I'm excited to delve deeper in what makes it special. The characters in Nana are multi-dimensional, complex, and flawed, as we are in real life. They have their own strengths, weaknesses, and motivations that drives the plot forward. And as you watch the series, you start to see how these characters grow, change, and evolve over time. You see how they learn from their mistakes, how they support each other, and how they overcome their struggles. And it's precisely this focus on character growth that makes Nana so much more than just a romance anime. I think many people initially perceive Nana as just a romance anime, and that's understandable. This series does start off with a strong focus on Hachi's relationships and romantic struggles. But as you delve deeper in the series, you realize that there is so much more going on beneath the surface. The characters all have complex backstories, motivations, and emotional arcs that go beyond romantic relationships. We find out so much about each character, like how Nobuo is a nepo baby who doesn't want to run the family's business but want to continue playing in the band with Yasu and Nana, or how Reiwa feels worthless if she isn't able to sing, being that she's ignorant and naive and everything else, stated by Takumi, or how Nana's mom abandoned her when she was only 4 years old. Remember that detail for later. Or that Shin is an escort at 15. Listen, this show has a lot of shit going on, and we find out Takumi's mom passed away and how his father is a pitiful drunk. Ironically, the only one who did have a good upbringing was Hachi. She came from a 2-parent home and had 2 sisters, and they're all supportive. Hachi never really had to struggle, so she had the freedom to go out and do as she pleases, which we can see never worked out for her. One of the things that makes Nana so unique is its way of handling these themes. It doesn't shy away from the difficulties and the complexities of life, but instead tackles them head on. This series shows us that relationships are hard work and that personal growth is a lifelong process. But it also shows us that it's all worth it because the rewards are so much greater than the struggles. When we look at Nana and Hachi's contrasting personalities and relationships, we see how the dynamics contribute to the story's richness. Nana is a free spirit, a rebel who follows her heart and pursues her dreams. Hachi, on the other hand, is more cautious, more responsible and more traditional. Their differences create a beautiful tension that drives the plot forward and adds depth to the characters. Their relationships with each other are equally fascinating. Nana and Hachi's friendship is built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect, but it's also tested by their differences. Their romance is passionate and all-consuming, but it's also fraught with challenges and uncertainties. And then there's relationships with the other characters, which adds even more depth and complexities to the stories. The scene with the strawberry glasses breaking was so powerful and symbolic to their friendship. Nana has borderline abandonment issues thanks to her mom abruptly leaving her when she was a child. I mentioned that earlier. Other than the band members and Ren, Hachi was the only other person that was really close to her. It was fate when they met that day on the train. Same name, age, and birthday. So when Nana found everything with Hachi being pregnant and her eventually moving in with Takumi, she felt like she was losing something precious to her. Those glasses represented their friendship, their bond, being the first items that they brought when they first moved into the apartment. Nana eventually breaks the other glass, saying, "There, now they can be together as they should be." She will do anything to have Hachi by her side, even if it meant being selfish and possessive. When you have abandonment issues, you tend to try to hang on to the people that you care for deeply out of fear that they will, leave you. And the second they start to feel their normalcy of being around slowly starts slipping away, it triggers them. We see this when Nana finally realizes that she can't use Nobuo as a way to keep Hachi in her life. She starts to panic and hyperventilate. As things were going, Hachi was going to be taken away by the one person she despises herself. And not only is she feeling like her best friend is being taken away from her, but there was a current scandal with her and her boyfriend Ren, so she was having a hard time trying to hold her head above water. There's a few characters I want to speak on. Amongst the fan base, Junko takes a lot of heat after being said that she wasn't a good friend to Hachi. The first half of Nana is centered around Hachi and her boyfriend Shoji. After a few hiccups, he eventually cheats with a girl named Sachiko. You're probably wondering how does these two connect? Well, you see, Junko knew Hachi since high school. Then she met Soji at college, ultimately being the one to introduce them. So when the situation happened, Junko was aware of the development of Soji and Sachiko, but didn't tell Hachi. She said she would rather stay out of it, let things play out for themselves, being that she's friends with both. You're not a girl's girl, Junko. I'm sorry to say it to you. On one hand, I do see why she wanted to stay out of it, not wanting to throw one friend under the bus over the other, but at the same time, she should have been the one to tell Hachi instead of her finding out how she did. Junko is a firm believer of tough love, but it does come to a point. Yes, Hachi is hard-headed and stubborn, but she also deserves a friend that's going to support her and be there for her, other than getting scolded every time she's in a position where she needs her friend. In a way, I can see why Hachi kept certain details to herself or waited until the last minute to call Jun about what's going on. But her side, I love Kyosuke. Not only do he take concern on the situation, he still tells you when you're wrong. He just does it in a way that's not as harsh as Junko. But nonetheless, there are my favorite couples in the show. One of the things that struck me about Nana is the way the series portrays the characters' emotions. It's not afraid to show their vulnerabilities, their fears, and their weaknesses. It's not afraid to show them making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. This emotional honesty is what makes this series so relatable and what makes the characters feel so real. Like when Nobuo had to process that for a split second, he could potentially be a dad at 20, or that the woman he felt so hard for chose the other guy, the other potential father. Unless you've been in a situation like this, I don't think you would really understand how he truly feels. But that's the reason why this show is so great. It's written in a way where we can sympathize and empathize with him. Not only could we see the hurt, but felt it too, as it made our stomachs turn watching it. One of the things that really sets Nana apart is its thematic depth. This is a show that tackles some heavy stuff: addiction, trauma, heartbreak, and sacrifice. It's not just about exploring these themes, it's about showing how they affect the characters and how they impact the way that we relate to each other. Nana is a show that will make you feel things deeply and intensely. When speaking on personal growth, I can't speak on any other character than Hachi herself. From the first episode all the way to the last, we see the development of Hachi's character. In the beginning, she was selfish, only thinking about herself, and was naive to a fault. But towards the end of the series, you see how she really takes accountability about her previous actions. We see that when she runs into Shoji. She states that she could have been a better girlfriend, and they was able to speak, and she was able to get some closure. But through this revelation, she also comes to terms that she really fucked up when it came to how she treated Nobu. They let her into the group, and all she did was cause chaos in it. She was scared to face him even after everything, but she also knows that she needs to talk to him and lay everything out on this table. He deserves that much. And honestly, Nobuo deserves him a fine, beautiful lady. Like, I really hope he finds love. Yeah, he does if you read the manga. I feel like the main issue that this show has is the lack of communication. Like, a lot of the situations that happened could have been solved if the parties directly communicated with each other rather than with somebody else. Soji literally should have just sat Hachi down and told her how he was really feeling and that he wasn't, feeling appreciated. But every time she would say like one little comment, he would shut down. Like, instead of telling her this, like, he fell into the arms of somebody else. But the lack of communication resulted in Shoji getting the attention from someone else, and that someone became the Demon Lord spawn, Sachiko. Or when Hachi found out she was pregnant and went to the doctor to get confirmation, she was trying to figure out how to handle everything, all while having terrible morning sickness. It was Takumi who first found out walking in on her throwing up. And it was Takumi who called Nobuo and Nana to tell them what the hell is going on. Like, this scene pissed me off so bad because he was doing way too much. And Hachi wasn't doing enough. Like, I would have been banging on that bathroom door, screaming help, like all types of shit. When Nana did have a sit down with Hachi, neither one of them really said anything. Takumi was the main one doing all the talking. And it's that moment where Nana should have just laid everything out on the table, and she didn't. And Hachi is just as much in the wrong. Cause girl, Takumi is not your master. You was crying about not being able to see Nana, about how she's always been staying at Ren's place and that she wants to apologize. But you was right there in arm's length and didn't say shit to her. Even Nobu made an attempt to go see Hachi. Granted, nothing really happened other than Hachi crying, apologizing, but the effort was made. And at that moment, when they was alone in her room, he should have told her, how much he was hurt, shocked, felt betrayed, but he just stood there and watched her cry. When it comes to love, triangles, squares, octagon, listen, nobody does it better than Nana. So let me catch you up. Yasu and Nobu and Ren were the originators of Blackstones, or Blast for short. Yasu and Ren grew up in the same orphanage. Nobuo, being a classmate of Nana, invited her to join the band as a request from Ren. During that time, Nana and Ren got together. Ren got drafted to Trap Nest, and Trap Nest consists of Reira, Takumi, and Naoki. Reira and Takumi are childhood friends. Reira was in love with Takumi, but he only sees her like a little sister, so he pays her no mind. Nana is jealous of Reira because of her talent, but not in a way where it's like spiteful, but she wants to be the one to be, sing for Ren, and it's a whole lot of pride and ego. Takumi always rejected Reira as she started dating Yasu. Yasu and Reira then broke up when she stated that she's moving to Tokyo. Same thing with Nana. Nana ended up not going with Ren. Fast forward, Yasu is in love with Nana, but will never cross that line with her because of Ren. Hachi and Takumi gets together. Hachi breaks up with Takumi, then Nobuo and Hachi gets together. Hachi gets pregnant and starts the battle of the baby daddies. Oh yeah, Reina and Shin started hooking up, and Shin loves Reira, but Reira's still in love with Takumi. Listen, this shit is a mess, alright? Like, if you're not careful, you can be swiftly tangled up in the red strings that keeps this bunch of characters binded together. No thank you. And since we're speaking of Shin, why is this 15-year-old escort the only one who has some damn sense? Like, he may be the youngest of the cast, but he got a good moral compass. Like, they come to him for advice. But it's funny because they always seem shocked every time he says something profound. And here is where I'll talk about another sensitive topic. Grooming, in a sense. I wasn't kidding when I called Shin an escort. Like, he legit has older women lined up, and one of them is Reira from Trap Nest. At first it started out as like a transactional relationship, but then they started hanging out more, getting to know each other. Shin started feeling guilty for taking her money, like even one time he overcharged her. Like, it's a lot considering they're like 7-8 years apart. Like, bro.